Hey, what's going on out there? This is Vinny Cuz coming to you from Southeast Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and the Palm Beaches. Can't forget Boca Raton. I like Boca Raton. Anyway, today we're going to talk a little bit about Lyft. Now, if you remember about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I put a video out talking about the new requirements for Lyft Lux Black, etc. And I'll put a link up here so you can go back and look at it if you missed it. But it seems yesterday, Lyft, without warning this time, put a little note in the driver's app, and this is what it said. Changes to vehicle age requirements. Starting July 15th, if you want to update your primary vehicle or add a secondary vehicle to your driver profile, it must be a 2017 or newer model. This is a temporary change in Florida to help current drivers maximize earnings. So the way I first heard about it was a buddy of mine on my radio channel. He came over the radio and he was like, hey man, you guys need to check your apps. There's a new update from Lyft. So when I was able to get to it, I went ahead and I looked it up, and this is what it said. Vehicle requirements. Now, when you read this, you have to understand this is how it's affecting drivers in general for Lyft, okay? Don't read more into it than what it is. It's pretty straightforward. 2017 or newer, right, is the vehicle requirement if you are a brand new driver. So if you're coming in on the regular Lyft platform, car's got to be 2017 or newer. Existing drivers who wish to change their primary vehicle. So what that means is, and right away one of the guys in the group was like, oh man, are you telling me my 2014 is no good? No, that's not what it said. It said if you are changing your primary vehicle. In other words, if you have a 2015 Toyota Corolla, your 2015 Toyota Corolla is good today. But if you take that car off and you add another vehicle on, it must be 2017 or newer. Pretty self-explanatory. If you plan to add a secondary vehicle, like I'm doing in August, that vehicle must be a 2017 or newer. I can't bring in a 2000. I have a 2015 Cadillac CTS, but I cannot bring on a 2015 Escalade, right? It has to be a 2017 or newer, according to what I'm reading, which kind of affects the other thing they did. Drivers who have an existing approved vehicle on the platform prior to July 15, 2019 will not be impacted by this requirement. You see? So I know some people are going to get it twisted, and they're going to be like all up in arms. Oh my God, listen, here it is. It's in black and white and pink and green. Yeah. And so that's the deal, right? And it continues on with the normal stuff. 4 doors, must seat at least 5 people, 4 passengers and the driver. Not on the list of ineligible subcompact vehicles. So you can't bring a 2017 Yaris onto the platform. Remember we talked about that. You cannot have a taxi or a stretch limousine. Apparently they don't go around in the Uber lot, said the BB&T. The title cannot be a salvaged, non-repairable, rebuilt, or any other equivalent classification. And then it gives you the other things down here for the Lyft Lux. So, what does that mean for us? Well, listen, there's a couple of pros and cons to this, right? Obviously, Lyft made this move without warning. About a year before I came on board with the ride sharing, talking to some older guys that have been on this for a while, they said Uber kind of did the same thing. They said one day, the select list was one thing, and then half the cars on that was taken off without warning. This is their business. This is what they're going to do. So, if you don't, always expect the unexpected with them, right? A couple of negatives to this. You will have drivers losing access, and what will happen is as their vehicle. So I think it's 2010 or newer right now, 2011 or newer right now. Next year or whenever they implement or decide to, if your car is on that bubble and you can't afford to go out and get a 2017 or newer vehicle and your car comes off the list, you're going to lose access to driving for Lyft. And it's unfortunate, right? Because they're changing the rules. Another negative to this is, well, that means that you're going to have a newer vehicle on the road and you're going to burn it up. You can no longer go get a beater car, you know, a four-door Hyundai Accent or, you know, maybe a Ford Focus from 2010, 2008, 2007 with Uber and just burn it up, right? You can't do that no more. You're going to have a newer car if you want to keep doing this. The other thing is, as the rates have been reduced and your pay, my pay has been controlled by their algorithm, they sure are expecting a lot more out of us, I would think. You know, we're going to run them down to death. Your depreciation on the vehicle drops tremendously, especially with mileage. You know, but there's some positive to this too, depending on how you sit in the market. As cars come off the list and drivers lose access, you would think that means more ride opportunities for those that can afford or have a vehicle on the list now that you can operate with. In other words, the supply is starting to drop, right? The demand might not be rising, but the supply is coming down. So it's coming more into an equal setting where you should be able to gain more rides because you got less drivers. Which means that if you can afford the vehicle, you're going to have more opportunity to make money. So don't get your panties all in a wad out there. Understand, read what your app is telling you, read what the website's telling you, and we should be okay. Here's my take on it. And I said this when I did the Lux Vehicles apps. Lyft is being upfront and telling us exactly what they want from us as far as our vehicles, as far as what they want us doing, how they want us working. You can't deny that. Lyft has not really done anything to increase our rates, but if you can drive more, you're going to make more. You're going to spend a little more, but you're going to make a lot more. So that's a good thing. My worry is what's Uber up to? Because like they're just way too quiet. And I was on Instagram last week, and if you haven't seen it, I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube video for it. If there is, I'll put a link in the bottom, in the description. Uber's really starting to make a move towards Uber Black. I have a feeling they're going to sneak us. I have a feeling they're readjusting their what they offer as far as their ride types. But that's a whole nother thing, right? But comfort in some markets has already happened, and it's, you know, a minimal increase to the driver. But more so what it's going to do is, because Uber has been pushing this Uber Black, I have a feeling Lux will be saying bye-bye, and it'll be replaced with Select and or Comfort. You'll still have your XLs, but it'll be Uber Black SUV. So when you go to make a decision about what vehicle you want to get, if you're going to follow through and upgrade your vehicles, keep in mind, Uber hasn't dropped their hand yet. Anyway, it's just a quick video. I'm going to get out of here, and we'll see you next time.